50 goals for the season for Erling Haaland so far now. First player in English football to do that since Aston Villa's Tom Pongo Waring in 1931. Do you remember him? I don't.
It's a great nickname, isn't
Pongo.
it? I'm going to look him up. I'm definitely going to look Pongo up after this when we go to the news.
The question is Erling Haaland the most complete striker you have seen? Or does he have a weakness? What is it?
Oh, as a striker, he's got to be. He has. You know, I look at the great strikers. I look at Gerd Müller, small, low centre of gravity, great finisher. Didn't have the physical prowess of Haaland. Haaland's probably, I would, right off the top of my head, not know the question was coming. Yes, he's the most complete striker I think I've ever seen. Nice. He's lightning quick, 2 good feet, brave,
big.
Quick, massive, aggressive. He's got absolutely everything. Absolutely everything.
He's got all the attributes that you need to be a complete striker.
Yeah, I mean, the one wee criticism we can have, he doesn't really link up as much as probably Pep would want him to be brutally honest. But then who cares when his goal return is what it is.
And you kind of think that understanding and that maybe that connection will become even more. Like I watched the way he is with Kevin De Bruyne and with Jack as well, and I think, wow, that connection's only going to get better, isn't it?
Of course it is. Absolutely.
All right, topic 2. Eddie Howe, Unai Emery, Mikel Arteta, Pep Guardiola, Gary O'Neill, Erik ten Hag. All of those names in contention for manager of the season.
Yes.
But you get to pick one right now at this minute. Who you go for?
Well, it's a very difficult question right now because Pep will win it and should win it if he does a domestic double, right? And it looks like he will do that. I would think he'll start favourites against Manchester United in the FA Cup final. They've got a chance of an incredible treble. So asking me the question right now is slightly unfair, but I think Pep will get it because I think he'll get at least a domestic double, and if he gets the domestic double then he deserves it. But it goes without saying, some of those boys that you've mentioned there have been absolutely superb, particularly guys like Gary O'Neill, Eddie Howe, Unai Emery, I mean, absolutely tremendous, to be honest with you. And Mikel Arteta for, keeping the title race going. I mean, forget about, if Arsenal weren't in this title race, it'd have been over, big blinking Christmas just about, would you? So they deserve an enormous amount of credit. But right now, as I say, it's a wrong time to ask me because it's still too early. But the fact of the matter is, if Pep picks up a domestic double, he will win it.
Yeah, you're right. There's 11 points between Man City in first and Newcastle in second, and just a point between Arsenal and Man City at the moment. Yep. So the last one, actually, we think we've got a couple more, but we'll see how far we go. On the other side of the coin, Leeds at the moment, they're 16. They're a point clear of the bottom 3, but the run-in is really tough. They've got Man City away in there. They've got Newcastle at home, West Ham away, and Spurs at home. What's going on? Have you got faith that they aren't going to be relegated? Have they got enough to get out of it?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. And I saw them. Do you know it was ended up not a bad point because they could have lost the game, but Bamford should have won it for them. The Leicester game on Tuesday night at Elland Road, that was massive. Absolutely massive. Leicester was slightly the better team and probably could have and should have won the game. I know Vardy got one disallowed late on correctly for offside, but he looked lively when he came on. And then Bamford, I felt for him, what a chance to win the game, and that would have given them a real boost. But I'm worried about them. I really am worried about Leeds United. You cannot, Laura, lose the amount of goals that Leeds United are losing and expect to stay in the division. It's as simple as that. And I don't think they've certainly not got enough goals in them to counter that, because defensively, I know they only lost the one against Leicester, Vardy's finish when Maddison came through, but I mean they're losing 5s and 4s, and I think it's a record amount of goals that team's lost in April and things like that. So I think I don't know. And I heard Dan Ambrose, and it's difficult to argue with him, watching the Leeds side under Javi Gracia. I'm not for a minute saying they're not trying, because they are trying. But it was interesting to hear Dom King talking about Sean Dyche and Everton lads, saying he can see them under a little bit of pressure. That's exactly what I saw when I watched Leeds the other night there. I watched a team that are playing within themselves because there's a little bit of fear, or not a little bit of fear, I think a big bit of fear. And I would be very, very concerned about Leeds' stay in the league. I really would, Laura.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods. Monday to Wednesday morning 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.